Hey everyone, welcome into Dom Time with Dom Giordano and Kimberly Garrison in studio with me. Our first guest that's been active. Most of the guests have been tethered here. Kimberly, being an exercise guru, is not. And Kim, you're going to show us a couple things people can do wherever they might be putting into mode, even in a sterile office environment or at home in the kitchen, whatever, a minute here and there. What's the number one thing you would do?
Well, a simple thing for strength training, for example,
right.
I would say upper body. A lot of people have weak upper bodies. Use your desk in the office and you could just do a few push-ups, right?
Okay.
Really simple like this. And you could have your phone on speaker and talk at the same time, right?
Current trends, you don't have a treadmill in your office. These people working on treadmills, I think that's a little bit excessive.
That is a little bit.
It's a little bit too Jetson to me.
Yeah.
All right, what else could you do in addition to the strength training? That's a simple thing you can do at your desk.
Right.
What else?
Squats. A person could just have their chair at their desk.
Right. Now, what's the purpose of a squat? What does a squat develop, or what does it do?
You're strengthening the quadricep muscles, the muscles in the front of the leg, in the front of the thigh, primarily.
And something just occurred to me, in addition to those two simple exercises, there's a lot of evidence this year that I read too, that if you move around, twitching, so to speak, it burns up energy.
Fidgeting.
Versus people that just plop and sit there, that kind of thing. And there's a lot of information that even if you exercise, if you sit 4, 5, 6 hours a day in many jobs, and don't move around every hour or so, not good for your heart, not good overall. That's modern age. That's what we're dealing with.
Absolutely. It is really important if you sit at a desk for a long period of time to get up every hour and move around. Because even if you exercise for 1 hour in the morning, but you're sitting for 8 hours, it's almost like you canceled out your exercise. Okay? Deep vein thrombosis is a really big problem because we need that blood needs to be circulating throughout the body and not pooling in the legs. And that's what happens when we're sitting too long.
We're going to roll for viewers at home on the board, breaking through various plateaus for a little bit more advanced. We've gotten people now, not the total couch potato, not the Idaho potato, but they're a little bit more advanced. Talk about that when people get frustrated, because every one of us, I know, and I don't know if it's happened with you, where you reach that plateau, you've done all these things, now you have to change it up a little bit. So when you're a little bit off, or if you reach a goal, a plateau, but you're not able to take it to the next level, it's got to get a little harder to be continuing to lose weight or fitness. What do you recommend?
Absolutely, you know, a plateau breaker, you have to change the behavior, okay? If you want to get more, then you gotta do a little bit more. So then raise the bar just ever so slightly. So if you're able to do, you know, 15 pull-ups and you wanna get to 20, then say, okay, let me see if I can get to 17 pull-ups. Make that your next goal. Okay. You know, so really small incremental steps, but you have to give yourself that goal. Otherwise, if you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you've been getting.
And we'll have you back on too. You recommend for women pull-ups, which is an old-fashioned type of thing. Now, I do the pull-up. I like to say 10 of them, but it's with the aid. Okay. I haven't done the other. The other is pretty difficult. I know you can do them. Yes. But out of your people you train, you get them to a point where they can do the unassisted pull-up, I guess we'd call it, yes? Yes,
and the way to do it is you deconstruct it. I get them in the up position and then descend down, and eventually, after it took a long, long time, you'll be able to actually pull your own body weight up. I don't think that most of the machines really ever get you to the point where you're strong enough.
No, but I have to tell you, that would be a real achievement. Everybody knows if you can pull up, we know that, and particularly for women that might be just starting to do that. Right. That's got to be a eureka breakthrough moment for them. Anything else as we head into the new year that you recommend? When you advance a little bit, you're past the rudimentary stage and moving forward, what else do people tell you that becomes a hurdle? Is it the weather? Is it something else that stops them in the tracks?
It's their diet, because once people think that they've achieved, you know, whatever their goal was, then they get lazy. They go like, oh, well, I could have a little extra slice of that. It's okay.
Chocolate-covered pizzas tonight, kids. Yeah, exactly.
And then they slowly get back where they were before if they don't really get a handle on it. So that's really what happens is people start to, you know, feel a little too comfortable. So that's part of it. Don't get too comfortable. Always stay on your A game.
One last thing, you brought all these props today too. We were talking before the show. Salt, maybe in the new year, as a health hazard, people taking a look at this. And I don't put salt on anything, but I do know, and I'm a vegetarian, there's still a tremendous amount of salt in just about almost in the air right now. So show us the salt component you brought, Kimberly, as a prop here. All right, now that's
That's how much sodium the average American typically takes
per day.
Per day.
Right.
Yes, which is a tremendous amount. And this is a teaspoon, just so that you know.
Right.
You can see the comparison.
And it's hitting. And it's a tremendous burden. And the problem with that is what?
Well, I mean, you're going to make yourself more prone to high blood pressure, you know, and obviously that's one of the leading causes of death. You know, we have heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes is also a problem with that if you're having too much sodium, and obviously too much, you know, sugar in the diet. So again, moderation is the key. If we want to have better health and we want to have longevity, then we should really think about balance and moderation, nothing too extreme.
All right. Well, next time, though, we're going to do one-arm push-ups.
Oh.
Next time we have you on. We'll have more of the facility to do that, so we'll go that extreme. Kimberly, thank you so much. We could talk for hours with you.
Absolutely.
I love the tips that you do. I love the stuff you do with kids and women. Thank you for joining us here on Dom Time.
My
and Happy
pleasure.
New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
Coming up, my final rant, my final Inside the Mind of Dom for the year, where I take a minute to tell you what I'm thinking about today. That's straight ahead here on Dom Time. Hey everyone, this is the part of the show where I talk about something that's on my mind each week for about a minute or so. Thank you so much. What's on my mind tonight as we end 2012 is the start of Dom Time, and as we head 2013, we've already talked about guns, the fiscal cliff, gay marriage. We had a lot of callers, and we will be taking more calls in 2013. And today's show, fitness, having some fun with it, open to suggestions for 2013. I know that one of the focuses we'll be looking at is the rebuilding in the wake of Hurricane Sandy, also the rebuilding of the nation in the wake of the massacre that happened at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Both devastating, both kind of tipping points toward any number of issues. In Jersey, the beach tag issue, what's going to happen with the actual rebuilding at the Jersey Shore, and of course, in the case of Sandy Hook Elementary, gun laws, mental health laws, and the like. Thanks for a great 2012 as we start 2013. Dom Giordano on Dom Time.